Hello friends, continuing with MCQs. Here is one MCQ, one mark. G and J are the partners. G is to get 10% commission of net profit and J is to get commission of 10% after charging all commissions. For the first point, when G is to get a commission of 10% of the net profit, question is silent about which kind of profit, before or after. In that very case, first of all, which we will always take before. That means 10% over here, and the profit of the firm is given 55,000. So G's commission would be 55,000, 10%, that is 5,500 rupees. But for J, this commission is after charging all commission. So first of all, from the net profit, we will deduct G's commission 5,500. The rest over profit would be here 49,500. On that profit we will calculate the commission of J, that is 10%. But in the question it was written after charging all commissions, his commission also. So the rate charge here would be 10 upon 100 plus rate, that is 10. So 10 upon 110, the amount comes over 4,500 rupees. So the total commission for G and J is 10,000 rupees. From total profit, when we deducted the commission, it was leftover profit with 45,000. Now question is asking what will be the amount of profit to be distributed to each. In the question, no profit sharing ratio is given to us, so this would be distributed equally among two partners. So how much is the share of each partner? That is 22,500. Now, the next case, the balance sheet has a workman compensation reserve 30,000. On the admission of the partner, the liability against the reserve was of 45,000. Here the liability is more, but the compensation reserve was of less amount. Now you know very well that reserves carry which kind of balance in the business of the firm? That is credit balance. When we have to adjust these reserves, these accounts need to be debited. So this 30,000 workman compensation reserve would be debited, and claim is of how much value? 45,000. Now claim is to be credited with 45,000. The difference of 15,000 will go to which account? That will go to revaluation account. Workman compensation reserve in the firm was 30, but workman compensation claim was of 45,000. So the difference of the both will go to the revaluation account, that is 15,000 rupees. I just give a simple example to my students कि if they have saved for some of the trip, that is of rupees 30,000, but actually the trip cost them 45,000. Now who is going to pay the difference because they don't have money? Their parents. Here we treat it as the revaluation account. Now the next is, there is an outstanding bill for. Now it will kindly give it attention, full attention to this third, fourth and fifth question which I am going to discuss, because these questions are related to each other. First of all, in this third question there is given there is an outstanding bill for repairs in the balance sheet. The outstanding bill for repair is given in the balance sheet and this is paid off. So liability paid off would be outstanding bill for repairs to cash account, that is with rupees 3,000. But in the next point he says there is an additional information at where the question is asking us to make a provision for outstanding bill. Okay, here the question is asking us to make a provision for outstanding bill for repairs. So from where this repair provision would be made? That is from revaluation account. Now outstanding bill for repairs is your liability, so it will be credited. Now sometimes students also ask, bill for repairs is expense, then why it is not debited? Mind you बच्चे, यहाँ पे the bill is outstanding. Outstanding expenses becomes the liability of the business, not the expense. So liabilities are to be credited. So to outstanding bill for repairs, from where it would be taken? That is from your revaluation account. Now similar to this is your Next question is also that in additional information at the reconstitution it was given that bill for repairs was paid for rupees 3000 which was not provided in the books of account. So this bill was not provided but actually it is paid. If it is paid then cash account is to be credited. Now if it is not provided, it is not given in the balance sheet, then which account is to be debited? Revaluation account. So I was just saying to you, refer to the differences of these 3 points. In first case, when the bill was already provided as a liability, then we write the bill to cash. But when it was not provided but actually paid, then it was written revaluation to cash. Second case over here was where the bill was just provided but payment was not made. It was not given in the books of account but need to be there was that it was provided now. So revaluation account to outstanding bill for repairs. I hope I am able to make you clear these three different points. If some query is there, kindly ping me in my comment box. The next is over here question, that is A and B are partners for the ratio 3:2. C is admitted for 1/4 share. For which he brings for which rupees 30,000 and rupees 10,000 were credited as a premium for goodwill to A and B respectively. Earlier in the questions you are already always provided that how much is the total premium brought in by new partner. Here the total premium brought in by the new partner is rupees 40,000, but it is also mentioned that how much is paid to A, that is 30,000, and how much is being provided to B, that is rupees 10,000. Now question is asking us what is the new profit sharing ratio. First of all, out of total 40,000 premium for goodwill, how much is A getting, that is 30,000, how much B getting, that is 10,000. What is their sacrificing ratio over here, that is 3:1. Now you will ask me, premium for goodwill here has been credited to them, so that means they are in a gain. But beta यहाँ पे premium for goodwill is given to them because they sacrifice their share of profit for C. So from here we get their sacrificing ratio, that is 3:1. How much A sacrificed in ratio to B is 3:1. But beta this is their mutual ratio. Mutual ratio means what? Means in the ratio they were mutually sacrificing. From the total of their old ratio, we cannot deduct 3:1. If I say their old ratio is 3/5 and 2/5, I cannot deduct 3/4 and 1/4. Rather, I will have to convert this mutual ratio into a total sacrificing ratio. How it is to be done? C's share was 1/4. 1/4 shares contribution of A was 3/4. And what was the contribution of B? That was 1/4. What I am saying is, if C is getting 1/4 share, for his 1/4 share, how much was the contribution of A? That was 3. How much was the contribution of B? That was 1. And out of total 4. So how much was A sacrifice? That was 3/16, and B sacrifice, that is 1/16. To calculate new ratio, it becomes old minus sacrificing ratio. So old ratio of A's was 3/5 and B's was 2/5, minus is their sacrifice, that is 3/16 minus 1/16. Their new ratio is 33:27. But for C's share here was 1/4. To make it also 80, we need to multiply this 4 20/20, and what is the ratio here? That is 20/80. So the new ratio is 33:27:20. But somehow you might not be clear with this mutual and this wholesome point. Let me to make you clear from another case over here. For your help, I took an example over here. सपोज करो कि हमारे पास में एक पूरी चॉकलेट है जिसमें 12 स्मॉल bites are there. Okay, so out of that 12 small bites, so if a total chocolate have 12 pieces, right, 8 plus 4, Out of that 12 pieces, C, who is a new person over here, given 1/3 of that very chocolate. So out of that 12 pieces, he is given 4. Now I am supposing over here, for these 4 pieces, A contributed 3 pieces, B contributed 1 pieces. A's contribution was 3 out of 8. So what was A's sacrifice? That was 3 by 8. What was B's sacrifice here? That was 1 by 4. Now see, for the total 4 pieces, A and B mutually sacrificing were 3:1. But from their share, how much they were contributing? A was contributing 3 pieces out of his share of 8. He was earlier getting 8. And how much was sacrifice of B? That one piece out of his total 4 piece. So if I have to multiply here, how much was A getting? That was 8. So how much was the loss of A over here is? That is 3 pieces. And how much is the loss of the B over here? That is 1 piece. I hope I am able to make you clear this point of the mutual sacrifice and the total sacrifice. From the profit sharing ratio, we always deduct their total sacrifice, not the mutual sacrifice. Okay. Now the last question over here is, the partners have a right to share the profits of the partnership business and have share in the assets too, and the reason is given that partners enjoy the ownership right to the extent of their share. So both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A, that partners have ownership right in the firm to the extent of their profit sharing ratio. That's why they have share in the assets as well as in the profits. Thank you, Accountitude. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Keep scoring.